All right, well, welcome everyone. April and I are glad to host you and have you here for our second to last Wellness Wednesday of the semester. We're excited to introduce Elena Bohlander, who will be bringing us some information and reflections on the Stillness Branch of the Tree of Contemplative Practices. I'm so excited to have Elena today for lots of reasons. She's our Director of Grants, and I love working with her. But also because she's a seminary student, she is pursuing a Master of Divinity as well as a Master of Arts in Biblical Studies with a concentration in the Old Testament. Did I get that right? Awesome. And so it's been fun for she and I to connect on that. And it's fun to give her this opportunity to share a bit with you about some of her personal practices. So without any further ado, let's turn it over to Elena. Thank you, Elena.
Thank you. So today we are going to talk about stillness. What is stillness? Is that stillness of the mind? Is it stillness of your body? Are the two connected or are they completely different? A couple quotes on stillness that I love are from T.S. Eliot. So the darkness shall be the light and the stillness the dancing. From Leonard Bernstein, stillness is our most intense mode of action. It is our moments of deep quiet that is born every idea, emotion, and drive, which we eventually honor with the name of action. We reach highest in meditation and furthest in prayer. In stillness, every human being is great. And in Psalm 46:10, be still and know that I am God. For whatever reason you're here today to seek out stillness, welcome. I come to you today to tell you about my journey with stillness. It was not an adventure that I sought out, but one that saved me. I have no training in psychology or wellness. I come to you today offering you the fruits of my own experiences and way too many years of therapy that have helped land me in exactly where I needed to find a love and desire for stillness. As a woman in my 30s, sometimes saying that my favorite way to exercise is yoga can feel like a cliche. I came to yoga almost a decade and a half ago with Kelsey Howard, who I'm so excited is on the line, looking for fitness and connection to make my body do the things that I wanted it to do. I never expected to find a love of myself and for the beings around me. I found compassion and I found gratitude. I found a calm for the chaos in my mind. And I'm not saying that yoga is a way to find stillness. It just happens to be where I found mine. For many people, stillness is about silence. This is one way, but for me, it's more about the silence of my inner turmoil and my mind. Sometimes it's about listening, just stopping and hearing everything around me and letting the silence of myself learn about what about the world that I'm living in. Sometimes it is about tuning out the chaos around me so that I can focus on me. It is a way that I take a pause in our busy world, a way that I take a breath before getting on my 7th Zoom meeting of the day. Sometimes it's just petting my dog or my cat and taking a moment to be late because I know that to do the work ahead, I need to find some stillness. Stillness can be the moment to check in with those around you. What is happening in my environment that needs my attention? What is happening in my community that needs my attention? Sometimes it is a moment of prayer, to pray for the strength to get through another tough meeting, to pray to give me the skills to be the instrument of change, or sometimes it might be for stillness that a situation might need. Sometimes pausing tends to be more of a change maker than I ever thought it could be. Stillness for me starts and ends with my breath. It's a cleansing breath in and out. Often it's through the nose and out through the mouth. But to be honest, I'm sometimes so congested that I just can't breathe through my nose. So that's just not an option, and that's okay. So however it is for you to connect for your breath, I invite you to spend the next couple minutes doing so. When I was being trained in triage, the most important thing I learned was about the breath. Not just about the breath of the patients in front of me, but about my breath too. A person will naturally follow the rhythm of your own breath, whether that's a person in crisis or the one I most frequently find myself in with my nephew who just struggles to find his own calm. Apadlasivu is my 19-year-old nephew who is severely developmentally delayed. When he starts in asking questions as fast as his mind can process them, but too fast that he can't even be stopped to listen for an answer, I just stop and I just breathe loudly. It's taken a while, but he's come to understand that this loud breathing is a chance for him. It's me inviting him to take deep breaths with me. A chance for him to find some calm in the craziness of his mind, because I can see and I can feel his anxiety just pouring out. So while I started with stillness and breath as a way for me, it's been a way for me to help connect with him as well. I want to invite you to enter into a short meditation with me. So get comfy, whatever that means for you. If you want to turn off your cameras, please do. If you want to sit or stand or lay or lounge. My favorite part of yoga is the fact that at the end of it, we get to take a little mini nap. Sure, that's supposed to be a moment of meditation, but sometimes I'm just so relaxed. So let's start by taking some deep breaths. I like to think about breathing in gratitude and exhaling the things that make me not grateful. I wish I lived in a world where there was only the happy and only the good and only the grateful inside of me. But I know that's not true. So I'm grateful for these moments and the chance to breathe some of that out, to cleanse my body and to cleanse my mind. I invite you to think about why you are seeking out stillness. Is it a stillness of your body? Is it a stillness of your mind? Many days for me, it's both. Meditation is a really hard thing. I remember when it first became an additional craze a few years ago, I remember thinking, okay, so you're just sitting there, but you're not. You're doing a lot of work. You're doing a lot of work on yourself, a lot of work with the environment around you. And thoughts tend to pop in. Sometimes it's about that email that I should have sent before this meeting, or did I leave the refrigerator open again? Or is the cat still outside and did it start raining? I invite you to, as these thoughts come in, to acknowledge them and then let them float away. There are times when my mind is just so busy that I can't even slow it down enough to breathe. And so I like to use the rule of 5. I think about 5 things that I can see and 4 things around me that I can hear and 3 things that I'm touching. Maybe that's the carpet underneath me or the chair that I'm sitting in. And then I try and concentrate on 2 things that I can smell and 1 thing that I can taste. And these days, it's always coffee. I can always taste that coffee. And sometimes when I get to the end of this, I realize I'm already in my happy place. Maybe your happy place is the beach with the water and the waves and the sunshine. Mine, unlike many, many people, is a windy day with lots of snow. This place where I can be calm and where I can let everything else float away, that's the stillness for me. Some days it's a lot easier than others to come here. And to be honest, some days I don't want to be here because it is a lot of work to be here and to get here. And sometimes the chaos is just an easier world to live in. But then I remember why I came here. I came here to find gratitude. I came here to be reminded that my actions need to be led with love and compassion for myself and for others. Maybe your stillness looks completely different, and that's great. I invite you to scan down through your body, your head, your neck, your shoulders, your lungs as you breathe in and out, down through your torso and your hips, to where your legs are connecting, maybe with your chair or with the ground. And just check in. Is your body ready to leave the stillness? Sometimes the answer is never. In yoga, they always tell us to start by moving your fingers and your toes just to reawaken your body. And when you're ready to open your eyes and face the world again, because sometimes that's what stillness is for me, finding that strength, I invite you to bring a hand to your head to remind you to have clear and loving thoughts, a hand to your heart to remind you to have clear and loving intentions, and a hand to your mouth to remind you to have clear and loving communication. This was the send-off of Leslie Fightmaster, my favorite yoga teacher who recently passed away during the COVID-19 crisis. She has taught me more about love and compassion for myself and for others than anyone else. So I am indebted to her for her compassion to share her love with others. And I share that with you today, hoping that the stillness that I have learned might be inspiration for you as well. So while this is what my stillness looks like, it is just one example, and I invite you to experiment and to find stillness in whatever way it is for you. I have a cousin who her stillness is not still at all. It is massive amounts of cleaning and walking her dog. Those are not stillness for me, but that is where she finds it, and I'm happy to watch her do that as she she goes about. But I just want to thank all of you for coming today and for being a part of Wellness Wednesday. I know April has some announcements at the end for us, but if you have any questions, I will be sticking around, so please let me know.
Thank you so much, Elena. That was great. A nice opportunity just to kind of turn off my mind for a moment. Does anybody have any comments or questions or anything for Elena? All right, well, as Becca said, this is our second to last Wellness Wednesday for this semester. So in 2 weeks, we will wrap up with an in-person opportunity. So typically we meet via Zoom, but we are giving everybody an opportunity to finish out the semester in person. And David Doubt will be joining us, and he has a passion for labyrinths. So he will be exploring the movement branch with us, and we will be meeting at the labyrinth on campus, which is in the woods by the President's House. And we will be walking that labyrinth together and learning a bit more about that process and that experience. So for those of you who are able and available, we hope to see you there. Thank you so much for your time today. Also, just a quick note, I put this in the email today, but many of the Wellness Wednesdays are recorded and available on our website. So if you haven't been able to attend, those are always accessible. So share widely. Thanks so much.